All right, so get ready to dive deep because we're talking about the future of AI. And we've got some awesome insights straight from Jensen Huang.
Oh, yeah, Nvidia CEO.
That's right, that's right. From his recent talk at an AI summit over in India.
Big stuff.
Yeah, and let me tell you, this isn't just your, typical tech keynote where they're focusing on just one product or one specific little tiny thing. Huang blew my mind because he talked about, he connected like 3 huge EE things that most people honestly aren't really thinking about yet.
He really is, he's painting this picture of the next, decade of AI, not just, the next few months.
Exactly, and the best part is he explained it all in a way that even I could understand.
Well, that's always a plus.
So get ready, because we're going to hear about AI that can think before responding.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. The coming wave of AI agents in the workplace.
Oh, wow.
And then also how humanoid robots are about to change everything.
Okay, buckle up, everybody.
Yeah. And we're going to start by talking about how AI is actually starting to think more like us.
Really?
Which means understanding the difference between 2 types of thinking, System 1 and System 2.
Right.
Have you heard of these before?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, think of System 1 thinking as your gut instinct, It's fast, automatic, like just knowing your favorite food. You just know.
Yeah, Wong actually used a great example. He talked about chicken biryani.
Perfect example, right.
Yeah.
You just know. There's no need to overthink it.
You don't have to think it through. You just know.
Exactly. System 2, on the other hand, that's your slow, deliberate thinking that you use for, complex problems.
Yeah.
So it's like planning a trip that has multiple stops and layovers.
Right.
You got to think it through step by step.
And Huang even gave the example of traveling from Mumbai to California, but with specific constraints, maybe you have a certain budget you need to stick to, or you have a limited amount of time, that kind of thinking.
Yeah, that takes real planning.
Yeah, it does.
And so here's the kicker. AI is it's moving towards that System 2 thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah, so all that extra computing power, all the chips and stuff they're developing, it's not just making it faster, it's making it better at solving problems that require that deeper level of reasoning.
Okay, so it's not just about speed anymore. It's about AI actually becoming a much more sophisticated thinker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine an AI doctor that can diagnose a rare illness by analyzing all this complex medical data, comparing it to thousands of similar cases, that kind of thing.
Oh, well, okay. I see what you're saying.
Or like an AI architect that can design a building that's perfectly meets, all of your needs and also blends seamlessly with its environment. The possibilities, are really mind-blowing.
Yeah, it really is. It's like AI is graduating from being a really fancy calculator to a strategist.
Oh, that's a really good way to put it, yeah. But here's where things get even more interesting. Huang's predicting that by 2025, we'll actually be working alongside AI agents.
Yeah.
Not just simple chatbots, but these, autonomous agents that can actually handle very specific tasks, like for us, for you, for me, everybody.
It's like having a team of personalized AI assistants working, 24/7 to help you be more productive and efficient.
Exactly. Imagine telling your marketing AI agent to create a social media campaign for a new product. And it just, goes out, analyzes all the current market trends, designs visuals, writes some really engaging copy, and then even schedules all the posts across all the different platforms, just boom, done.
And that's just one example, right? Huang envisions both free and paid agent systems covering all sorts of tasks by the end of 2025. So we're talking about things like customer service agents, design agents, even agents that can, help manage our finances and investments.
It's like we're on the verge of having this digital workforce.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Yeah.
Right. That's ready to tackle any task we throw at it.
Yeah. So how do we manage this new workforce, though? Do we need to think about onboarding these agents just like we would new human employees?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So we're going to need to train them, fine-tune their skills, evaluate their performance, and even set up guardrails to make sure that they're operating safely and ethically, within certain parameters.
So it's like having a whole new department to manage, but instead of people, it's a team of specialized AI experts.
That's exactly right. And so to power this whole, AI revolution, Nvidia is they're developing two very critical platforms.
Yep.
Nvidia AI Enterprise and then Nvidia Omniverse.
Okay. I've heard of these, but I'm not, totally clear on what they do.
Okay, so NVIDIA AI Enterprise, that's all about creating what they call large language models.
Okay.
And you can think of these as like, as the brains behind these AI agents. So they're the ones who can, understand and respond to all the different types of data, like text, video, even sensory information.
Oh, so that's how they can do such complex stuff like creating those marketing campaigns. Interesting.
Exactly. And then there's Omniverse, and that's basically a virtual world that obeys the laws of physics.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's where these AI agents can learn and actually refine their skills before they get deployed in the real world.
So like imagine a virtual city where self-driving cars can learn to navigate all sorts of crazy traffic scenarios, or like a virtual factory where robots can practice assembling products. It's like a giant training ground for AI.
That's a really good way to think about it. Yeah.
So they're not just, learning theory, they're getting actual hands-on experience in this virtual space.
Exactly. Like a flight simulator for pilots, but for robots.
Perfect analogy.
And then once they've mastered all their skills in Omniverse, then they're ready to go out into the real world, and they're powered by AGX.
So AGX is like the robot's, like its onboard computer.
Yeah.
Allowing it to, process information and make decisions on the fly.
Exactly. So it's the brain that allows the robot to, react to its environment, adjust its movements, and complete its tasks, all autonomously.
Okay, so we've got the teacher, DGX, the training ground, Omniverse, and then the onboard brain, AGX. That's a pretty impressive system.
Yeah, it really is. And it's all happening right now. So NVIDIA is already using AI agents internally to design their chips and manage their supply chains. And they're working with all sorts of partners around the world to bring, these same capabilities to other industries as well.
That's pretty amazing. So are we ready to talk about the next part?
Let's do it. Let's step into the realm of physical AI and humanoid robots. You ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Think iRobot, but without the whole existential crisis.
Exactly.
So these digital AI agents sound pretty awesome, pretty game-changing, but to really see AI's impact in, the physical world, like the real world around us, we need to talk about robots.
Yeah, you're right. This is where things get really interesting, really tangible, and a little bit sci-fi, right?
Yes, it really does.
We're talking about robots that can, actually move around and interact with the world. And not just in, factories or controlled environments. We're talking about robots that can, work alongside humans in hospitals, maybe even, help with construction, disaster relief, all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. Think about robots, assisting doctors and nurses in busy hospitals, maybe even helping with surgeries or really delicate procedures, or robots helping out with construction projects, or going into dangerous disaster areas, after an earthquake or a flood.
Yeah, I can see that. And maybe even robots in our homes, doing things like cooking, cleaning, taking care of elderly family members.
That'll be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But doesn't that bring up like a whole new set of challenges? These robots, they need to be able to understand the world around them. They have to perceive objects and interact with them safely. There's a lot to consider there.
That's a really good point, yeah. The real world is, it's unpredictable, it's messy, and things, they don't always go according to plan.
Definitely. That's where those three computers Huang was talking about, DGX, Omniverse, and AGX, that's where those really come into play. They're like a brain trust for physical AI. Okay,
right. Remind me again, how do those three work together? I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of that.
No problem. So imagine DGX as the supercomputer that trains the AI models, giving them all the knowledge they need to actually understand the physical world. It's like sending a robot to school to learn physics and engineering.
Okay, got it. So it's like the teacher giving the robots this basic understanding of how the world works.
Exactly. And then comes Omniverse. You can think of it as this, this virtual training ground where the robots can practice all their skills in a safe and controlled environment. It's like a giant simulator where they can learn to walk, grasp objects, navigate, complex terrain, all without any, real world consequences if they make a mistake.
So they're not just learning theory in the classroom. They're getting actual hands-on experience.
Exactly. Like, think of those flight simulators that pilots use.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's the same concept, but for robots. And once they've mastered their skills in Omniverse, then they're ready to go out into the real world, and that's where AGX comes in.
Okay, so AGX is like the robot's onboard computer, right? It's allowing it to process information from its sensors, make decisions, in real time, all that stuff.
Exactly. It's the brain that allows the robot to, react to its environment, make adjustments to its movements, and complete those tasks autonomously.
Okay, so we've got the teacher, the training ground, and then the onboard brain. Pretty amazing system. But even with all of this incredible technology, I mean, building these humanoid robots that can function in, the real world, that's still a massive challenge.
Absolutely. I mean, the world, like we said, the world is unpredictable. Things happen. And that's why Huang was emphasizing the importance of making these robots robust and adaptable.
Yep.
They need to be able to handle unexpected situations. They need to be able to learn from their mistakes, and they need to continue, operating safely and effectively no matter what.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just about, programming them to perform these specific tasks. It's about giving them the ability to kind of, think on their feet and adjust to changing circumstances.
Right. It's like the difference between, following a strict script and improvising on stage.
Yeah.
To be truly useful in the real world, these robots, they need to be able to improvise.
Now, I know Huang mentioned that Nvidia's, they're already working with partners in India to develop these technologies. They've got this whole ecosystem happening over there. But is this just happening in India, or are there other countries, working on this too?
Oh, this is definitely a global effort. Companies and research institutions all over the world are racing to, develop this next generation of humanoid robots. It's like the new space race. But instead of aiming for the moon, we're aiming for this future where robots are, seamlessly integrated into our lives.
It's pretty exciting and a little bit intimidating all at the same time. I mean, think about the potential benefits. These robots could help us with all those dangerous or really tedious jobs. They could help care for the elderly, maybe even explore new frontiers. Who knows what's possible?
The possibilities they're truly mind-boggling.
Yeah.
There's also, it's important to remember that this technology is it's still in its early stages. We're just beginning to really scratch the surface of what's possible here.
Yeah, and with any powerful technology, there are risks as well as benefits. We need to be really thoughtful about, how we develop and deploy these robots, making sure that they're used safely, ethically, really for the betterment of humanity.
That's a really crucial point. We can't just blindly embrace these advancements without really considering the consequences. We have to be proactive in shaping the future that we want to create with AI. We can't just, react to whatever comes our way.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, we have to be intentional about this. At the beginning of his talk, Huang asked a question that really stuck with me. He said, what are your predictions for how these technologies will impact your life in the next 5 years? And it wasn't just a rhetorical question, it was a challenge to really think critically and personally about the future that we're building.
Yeah, that's a powerful question, and it gets to the heart of what we've been talking about. Ultimately, the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us. It's something that we are creating. Through the choices we make, through the conversations we have, through the actions that we take.
That's a really good point. So let's take a step back for a moment. Remember what sparked this whole conversation in the first place. AI's new ability to think before responding.
It all goes back to that, doesn't it? I mean, that's really the foundation upon which all these other advancements are built. It's AI's growing ability to reason, to analyze, to solve complex problems. That's what's making all these breakthroughs possible.
And it's that shift in AI's thinking process that's leading to, these more sophisticated AI agents and these robots that can, understand and interact with the physical world in such a nuanced way.
It's really like we're we're witnessing the birth of a whole new era of intelligence.
Yeah.
One where, where humans and machines can work together to solve some of the world's, biggest challenges and unlock possibilities that we never even, thought possible.
It's a lot to take in, it really is. But it's clear that the future of AI is it's bright, and it's coming at us faster than any of us probably ever imagined. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have. We've gone from, AI learning to think before responding all the way to the potential of AI agents in humanoid robots. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
It really is. It feels like we're on the cusp of something truly transformative. Something big.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating to me is how quickly this is all happening. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that, these were just ideas, science fiction. And now it's like they're becoming reality right in front of us.
It's exciting. I mean, think about the possibilities. Personalized healthcare, sustainable cities, maybe even exploring new frontiers with the help of AI and robots. It feels like we're on the verge of solving some of humanity's biggest challenges.
The possibilities really are limitless. But at the same time, it's important to be mindful of the impact these technologies could have, on society, on our own lives, on how we live.
Yeah, we can't just sort of, blindly embrace all these advancements without thinking about the consequences. We need to be proactive in shaping the future we want, with AI, not just reacting to whatever happens.
Absolutely. This is a collective responsibility. It involves all of us, governments, businesses, researchers, individuals. We need to talk about it, have those conversations, the ethical implications, the potential risks, how to really harness these technologies for good, for the benefit of everybody.
I remember at the beginning of his talk, Huang asked a question that really stuck with me. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, "What are your predictions for how these technologies will impact your life, in the next 5 years?" And it wasn't just a throwaway question. It was a challenge. It was a challenge to really think critically and personally about the future we're all building together.
And I think that's the perfect note to end on, because ultimately the future of AI, it isn't something that's just, it's not happening to us. It's something that we're all creating together. You and me, everyone listening, everyone around the world.
Yeah, that's a good point. So as you go about your day to day, think about the things that we've talked about. Talk to your friends and family. Do some more research. The more informed we are, the better equipped we'll be to shape this AI-powered future that we all want.
It's true. I mean, the future isn't it's not set in stone. It's a canvas. It's waiting for us to paint it with our hopes, our fears, our vision for a better world.
So let's get painting. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of AI. We hope you found it insightful, thought-provoking, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. And until next time, stay curious.